How's it going, everybody? It didn't play the intro. What's going on? I'm over here like I got caught off guard. So we're gonna play the intro. We're gonna do the intro. It's gonna happen. So let's go ahead and do the intro.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What a fight! I think we're gonna win it.
Juan, the Hispanic causing panic, Lascano.
And thanks to those joining me live, those that be joining me on the archive D-Style here. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe if you like the content. Hit the bell that way you're notified every time D-Style Boxing comes on live. Just go ahead and get this show on the road. All right. If you're watching on the archive, by the way, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you're watching on X, you could always come to the YouTube channel, join the chat, all that good stuff as well. Or if you want to watch some X, that's fine too. Tyco TV in the chat. How's it going, brother? Hope everything is good on your end. First of all, let's talk about Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz, everybody count him out, right? Oh, he's gonna get outboxed with ease because Pitbull's just straightforward, nothing special. He's gonna get beat up, but he's gonna get stopped. And people were saying, "No, don't be shocked if they stop him." I said I would be shocked if he stopped. He was not gonna stop him. That was absolutely ridiculous to even suggest that he will get stopped. That was hate, right? That was a hater talking. Right? Oh, he's gonna stop him. Didn't come close to doing it. You were wrong. Just shut the fuck up. Pitbull Cruz is not gonna get stopped. Enough of predicting Cruz to lose easily and all this other shit. All right, it is what it is. He lost one fight, and all of a sudden the dude's getting all like, "Oh my God, Ryo beat him." Blah 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 blah. But guess what? In my opinion, he beat Tank. In my opinion, he won this fight against Roach. Y'all crying, bro. You pick against a dude. He proves you wrong. You don't give him credit. You cry. You bitch. You complain. You get angry at people. That's your problem. Pitbull Cruz is doing this thing. Pitbull Cruz is the PBC pay-per-view king. That's what he is. He's a 2025 PBC pay-per-view king. That's who Pitbull Cruz is. Put respect on Pitbull Cruz's name. I'm done with the disrespect that comes towards the way of Pitbull Cruz. You will show respect to that man. And if you want to get mad and call people names, take things personal, call people weird, even though you've always joked around about the Pitbull Cruz situation with them, you want to be a bitch about it, go be a bitch about it. But guess what? Pitbull Cruz is still going to do his thing. Pitbull Cruz is still going to continue to prove people wrong, right? Y'all said Raleigh was going to ragdoll him, didn't do it. He destroyed Raleigh. Y'all said Tank was going to knock him out easy. Tank was in the fight of his life, right? And you have to gaslight yourselves to convince yourselves that Pitbull was not in that fight. He was, right? In my opinion, won the fight, right? And he won this fight, in my opinion. It was close. You could argue for Roach, I guess, but crying robbery. You guys are emotional. You're talking with emotion. All right, that's all it is. It's your emotion talking, right? At the end of the day, you feel bad because he was done wrong and dirty in the Tank fight, which he was, right? But that doesn't mean that he just automatically needs to win this fight. Pitbull Cruz is a fighter too. Pitbull Cruz is putting in work too, right? So it is what it is. And I heard that Pitbull Cruz, you guys, Roach is going to knock him out. Roach broke his hand. These dudes injured their hands when they try to knock this dude out. He's got no neck. How the fuck you going to knock him out? You can't knock out a dude with no neck, bro. Pitbull Cruz out here making the haters cry, bro. Pitbull Cruz out here making dudes cry, bitch and moan and complain. That's all Pitbull Cruz is doing. Shout out to Pitbull Cruz. right? Shout out to Shock Foster, did his thing, dominated Fulton. Fulton, I mean, had a gut at the weigh-in. It's not surprising, right, that he put that type of effort in, and was just unmuscled in the fight. Really, Fulton just is not made for his body's not made for lightweight. You could clearly see that. And Shock Foster did his thing. He's the one that did the right thing. He made the weight. He was prepared. He was ready. And guess what? He got the W. Right? I expected a better fight, but I expected a better showing from Fulton. Right? I always picked Foster to win, but Fulton, I expected more from him. Right? I guess Fulton just hasn't been the same ever since that Inoue fight. I don't know what happened, brother, but he came back. He looked good for the Figueroa rematch, and then I don't know, man. It's just what the hell's going on? Didn't make the weight at 130. Gets rewarded by the WBC from y'all's favorite president that y'all defend all the time, bro. Like, what's going on? No neck. You can't knock this dude out. He's got no neck, bro. People get mad, bro. People get mad if you just like say something good about Pitbull Cruz. Like the shit people say about Pitbull Cruz, like out of line, bro. Like, I don't like him. I hate him. Like shut up. Like go cry about it. Cry harder. Right? Go cry harder, bro. People are rooting against him during the fight. Like it's crazy. Come on, Roach. Beat him, Roach. I can't stand Pitbull Cruz. Like who hates Pitbull Cruz, bro? Like it's amazing to me. It's unbelievable. All right. Shout out to Bruce Goss, Remy, of course, Ed Woodson in the building. Lycos, it would definitely he I think he meant definitely beat Roach in a close fight. I thought it was a really close fight. Got the knockdown. The ref out of line again. We're taking away the point, but people don't like Cruz, so they're gonna frame it. Oh, he's dirty because you don't like him. You fucking pussies. All right. It's a fucking fight. It's boxing. We got pussies out here complaining and bitching and moaning and whining. And then they take it personal and then start ad hominem attacks just because you have an opinion about Pitbull Cruz. This is crazy, bro. You know what I mean? Shit's insane. Shout out to the Bills, by the way. Playing the Bengals right now. I'm keeping an eye on the score and all that, but I'm very disappointed with the season so far. I'll just put it that way, and we're going to move on. All right. Now, so let's. Am I forgetting anything? I feel like I'm forgetting something. I feel like I'm forgetting something from the fight night. Oh, Lara, right? Look, man. Janabek, just. I mean, I don't know what's up with Janabek, bro. I don't know what's up with Janabek. Lara did look. Lara did his thing. I mean, it's been almost a year. Like it was over a year actually since he's fought. So he's gonna obviously be a little rusty and stuff, but he did his thing, man. He got those knockdowns. Beginning of the fight, at the end of the fight, and we can't really complain much about the way Lara performed. Lara's gonna do what Lara does. It's just that he just doesn't do it with as much movement anymore, right? Shout out to Dennis Ward. How's it going? But it's kind of hard to say what's. I would like to just see. I guess they should have just done Lara versus Ramos at this point. If anything, but okay, just do that fight. Oh, and Jesus Ramos, obviously, yeah, beat Shane Mosley Jr. Did his thing. Shout out to him. And Frank Martin with a monster knockout, just put Bartholomew out. So that's that. So the Ghost came back from hiding, I guess. Frank Martin comes back in impressive fashion, gets a knockout as expected. And we'll see what happens. I wouldn't mind seeing a Martin versus Roach fight or Martin versus Cruz. Get him in the mix. There's fights he could do right there. So that's how I feel about that. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the about y'all's favorite president, bro. I'm gonna play some clips from the Boxing Voice, and just look at how like. The contradictions are insane. Shout out to Ness and everyone out in the Boxing Voice. But Jesus Christ, I need to touch on this here, right? let's touch on this and then we'll touch on the other one, right? So
Just because Bernie's saying something, we can't.
Why haven't we talked about this dude asking for $100 million?
Because it wasn't him. So, like, just because Bernie's saying something, we can't condemn Crawford. Crawford never said, I want 100 mil. I'm just being real.
I believe it. The man ain't worth no $100 million, bro.
He do hold the
He's worth
keys
two.
to the rematch, right?
You are right. I won't disagree with that. But if Canelo was to say, oh, well, fuck off, I'm going to go my own route, Canelo's still going to make his gate. It's really Bud that needs Canelo. The $100 million is only because of Canelo. You can't name another fight.
all right, I thought this was about the belt. It's not, but since I played it, I might as well give my opinion, I guess. Look, obviously it's on negotiation. They're going to put a number out there. The Saudis are going to offer what they offer, and we'll go from there. If the rematch happens, we'll talk about it, right? Now let's go.
Ronnie Bud strikes again, yelling, shouting out demands. Ness, you a Jay-Z fan, right?
Yes.
And
Me too.
there was a thing, Ness, in hip-hop when you got that Rockefeller chain. When Jay put that rock chain on you,
Yeah, that's credibility.
the WBC is the rock chain. I don't know what that other shit niggas talking about. The WB, that green belt, that is the Rockefeller chain right there. When you have the green belt, that's when you like, yeah, the Rocky belt, the colorful belt, I understand that, oh, this the man to beat the man. No, it ain't nothing like that real green belt. When Floyd Money Mayweather driving through his house and his moped, and he go to the thing and he be like, yo, this belt costs $500,000. See this WBC belt right here? That green belt matters, bro.
All right, here's the problem I have with this whole, like, oh, the green belt, bro, the green, it's the green belt. Yeah, the belt is the best one. Like, based on what? First of all, I'm not a big hip hop fan, so like you could spare me this Rockefeller chain bullshit. I don't give a fuck about that, right? Just like you notice how I don't give a fuck about that. Well, people that like we don't have enough fans. We need to create a bigger fan base. Most people outside of the sport don't give a fuck about it either, right? They don't give a fuck about the WBC belt like that, right? Like, you got to be a very die-hard boxing fan. The problem, like to really know what's up with that, right? Oh, because Floyd Mayweather said something, right? Like, whatever, bro. Right? It's so the Rockefeller chain, that's credibility. Like, what credibility? So you're telling me right now that every rapper, in order to be a good rapper, like did Eminem get the Rockefeller chain? I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big hip hop dude, but maybe you hip hop heads can tell me. Like, you know what I mean? Was Dr. Dre and the NWA, like, did they need the Rockefeller chain or something like that? Did he get that? What have done? I don't give a shit. I don't care, bro. I don't care for it's the Rockefeller. And then here's the issue. Even if let's say I grant it to him. Oh, yeah, definitely, right? He literally said it was at one point credibility in the sport, right? At one point, maybe, I guess that fits perfectly. At one point, the WBC used to be, right? It used to be something important, but the Rockefeller chain, like, dude, what have we done? What's with all the hip hop heads that think everyone needs to associate everything with their fucking hip hop culture? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what have we done? What's this about, bro? What have we done? Like, I'm just saying. Oh no, yeah, you need to understand. Back in the day, like, what are we doing? Well, because in hip hop, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Mauricio Suleiman ain't making these fucking lame ass. He ain't saying this lame ass shit. Mauricio Suleiman ain't saying this dumb shit. Mauricio not over here. Hey, we're the Rockefeller of this, and we're the this. He may be, you know, like what's with all these opinions people are giving and these analogies? Everybody wants to make analogies, like Eddie Hearn is comparing it to a restaurant. Oh, he's eating, all this fancy food. In the end, he doesn't want to pay. And then, like, why do we need to make analogies for when we could just go by what it is, right? Now, the funny part is that they go from this, right, to
system
this.
hurts the sport. How can a casual become a fan of the sport when the rankings look like a nasty chart and they can't decide who is the best boxer in this division? There's 7 or 8, 9 guys. They don't know who's the guy.
I thought the WBC was a Rockefeller belt, and it's the one that matters. And you apparently you were making the argument, if you have that belt, you're the man. So I mean, I thought you answered your own question here. You know what I mean?
Casual become a fan of the sport when the rankings look like a nasty chart and they can't decide who is the best boxer in this division. There's 7 or 8, 9 guys. They don't know who's the guy.
I think that the biggest issue and the strongest talking point fighters have against sanctioning bodies is no other sport do you pay to be the champion. The Cowboys ain't got to pay to go to the Super Bowl. Whatever team ain't got to pay to be in the playoff.
I mean, they can't make up their minds, bro. The sanctioning body's good. Are they necessary? Are they bad? Are they they can't make up their minds. 1 minute, oh, it's a Rockefeller belt, and you know.
WBC belt.
Now we don't care about the WBC belt.
We care about that ring belt.
Fuck the belt. We got that title. You know what I'm talking about? They can have a belt. That belt ain't gonna do shit but collect us. And we already got plenty of WBC belts. She
Got the title and ran off on the plug.
We ran off on that nigga twice, Star. Fuck that plug. We don't need him. We got plenty of other belts. And we got the one that's overall. And that's the ring belt. Shout out to Turkey Island Sheik. That's the best belt. WBC. We don't give a fuck about no WBC belt.
Now we don't care about the WBC belt.
We care about that ring.
So I think I overplayed that, but they can't make up their minds, bro. Like over here, one moment they're defending the WBC that it matters. The next moment, because these rankings, they don't make sense. They don't do this, they don't do that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just stick to what it is, bro. We don't need to compare it to the Rockefeller chain and how hip hop works, and I don't give a fuck about how hip hop works. I don't even listen to hip hop like that. So why do I care about that? Oh, Ness, you know about the Rockefeller belt? Oh yeah, I'm a hip hop head too, so I know how that works. And who cares, bro? I don't give a shit about that, right? I'm just let's just stick to the facts and what it is, right? Everyone keeps giving analogies. I saw HLD, shout out to him, just yesterday, saying that Mauricio has a business to run. It's the other one. They have a business to run. It's his business, and he has a right to make money, and he doesn't have to answer to nobody. Either you like it or you hate it, and you leave it, and that's it, right? What are we doing? What are we doing? Hey, you know what? I had to pay for my my belts too in karate. That's funny. So I don't know about this. We never had to pay for anything, but I guess it's the thing with belts. Ladies and gentlemen, all bullshit aside, let's set the bullshit aside for a second, right? I'm gonna share something, and I'm just gonna go with the fact. We don't need to use analogies, bro. We can just stick to what it is, right? We don't need analogies. We just don't. All right? I'm going to show you right now what the WBC is, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what it is, and all that fucking matters. And everything else is just noise. Any other, the problem with people making these analogies is that they're trying to frame things in a way that benefits them, right? Or benefits their argument. And I just have no interest in doing that, right? So let's just go with this. The WBC is tax exempt. They filed taxes in Florida, by the way. You can look, this is public information. Why is this public information? Well, why do we have access to the tax forms that the WBC fills out? Because they are a non-profit organization. That's why. Okay? So all this talk about their profit margins and that they have a business to run, that the Rockefeller of this. If Jay-Z was running his record company as a non-profit organization, right? Then we can make the comparison. Otherwise, it's just noise. It's just two hip-hop heads thinking that everyone's going to relate to the hip-hop analogy. Okay? Like, no. This is a non-profit organization. Was Rockefeller Records a non-profit organization? No. Jay-Z needs to pay his taxes. The WBC wants the benefit of being a non-profit organization. So they don't need to pay federal taxes. That's the benefit that the WBC wants. So this is not an opinion. I don't need to give you an analogy. They need to act like the type of organization that they file paperwork under. If they want to be a business, and don't call yourselves a nonprofit organization. Don't call yourself a 501c6. Don't call yourself that. That's Mauricio Suleiman's name. This is public information. That is the address. It's based off of Mexico City, Mexico, or Linda Vista, whatever. Website, WBC.com. And they check the box 501c6. That's the tax exempt status that the WBC checked. So they're not a restaurant, because restaurants are not non-profit organizations, Eddie Hearn. Hey, the Boxing Voice. They're not Rockefeller Studios Records, that is. So find me an analogy with a 501c6. Find me that analogy. That's it. That's the only thing that matters. Facts. That's it. I'm just going to talk facts here, right? Nothing else and nothing more. No. Oh, no, but he has a business to run. Oh, when you rock his belt, that man, like, I don't give a fuck what analogies you use. I don't care if you go to hip-hop. I don't care if you find me some country analogy, some rock and roll analogy, some pop music analogy. Oh, man, if you wear the glove of MJ, that meant that you're the king of pop. I don't want to hear it, bro. I just don't want to hear it. What we're going to talk about is this right here. That's what we're going to talk about. A 501c6 is an IRS tax-exempt non-profit organization formed to promote a common business interest. Unlike charitable organizations, which is a 501c3. Their purpose is to improve the business conditions of an entire industry or trade community rather than the general public. That is their purpose. Purpose to promote common business and just to improve conditions for one or more lines of business, an entire industry, or all sorts of industry within a specific geographical area. Boxing is a worldwide sport. It will be pertaining to the whole world. They're not a charity, not to profit. The organization must not be organized for profit, and no part of it is net earning may benefit any private shareholder or individual. So all this shit they tell you, oh, well, we do, and act like that's just the way it is. You want to jump on HLD? I'm going to give HLD the link. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to make them type. We're not going to make HLD type away. All right? We're going to give HLD the link. That's what we're going to do. Right? What part of what I just said did you not understand, bro? Not to profit. Not to profit means to not make profits. That's what a non-profit organization is. If you want to make profits, you're more than welcome to do it. if you're going to make profits, your tax forms don't even have to be public. If you're a private organization, they're not even public. If you're a for-profit organization. Come on, HLD. Like this is, you cannot start from the position that Crawford's in the wrong and then work your way backwards and suit whatever argument you want to suit. Some things are just not debatable, brother. That's why. Well, why do you think Mauricio wasn't walking around saying, I have a business to run? No, he condemns businesses. He said the ring is a business. They're here to make money, is what he said. He claims they're only doing things for the good of the sport. He actually condemns the idea that they're here to make profits and money. But you're here making the argument otherwise. It's not even the argument he's making. Mauricio Suleiman isn't making the argument that he's the Rockefeller of any of that. He's not making the argument that I'm the restaurant, you're eating in my restaurant. He's not making those arguments. Look, what are you talking about? Some things in life just aren't debatable, bro. The WBC absolutely can take sanctioning fees, and they should. No one is making the argument that there shouldn't be sanctioning fees. I actually disagree with what Ness said. Oh, you don't have to pay. That's actually wrong about that, right? Because it keeps the sanctioning bodies separate, independent from promoters who actually are the ones with the profit motive. That's the way it should be, right? But they're working hand in hand. Let's get the one and only, the non-profit, for-profit HLD in the building. But before I get you on, HLD, well, I'll let you on right now, but I want you to tell me, how can I start a nonprofit where I can make some profit, baby? Like, you know what I mean? Not my taxes. You tell me. I want to.
Because you're literally you're making up your own definition by just reading the words that you read, but you do not understand what is the definition of it via the tax code.
Well, what's the definition of nonprofit?
Nonprofit basically is just a tax code on how you're going to manage your taxes from your own business. Period. It doesn't mean that you don't make profit. It just means you cannot distribute profits to shareholders.
So why not just be a for-profit business then?
Because just like the WBC created when they made that stupid franchise belt name, which should have been a super belt, but because it said franchise, it drove everybody crazy, and I know what the fuck it really is. It's a super belt. Here it is. You're reading nonprofit.
No. You're saying that.
You're reading nonprofit, and you think they're not supposed to make profit.
Come on. HLD.
Yeah.
You're saying the things that Mauricio didn't say. Mauricio first said that it was a designation. Did he not?
So it's a super belt. Did you know that?
No. I'm just one step at a time. Did he not say at first that it was a designation, not a belt?
It is a designation. They all are.
But that's what he said.
All super belts are.
Mauricio was trying to have his cake and eat it too, as Mauricio was doing. But Mauricio did not say it was a super belt.
No, he
did not say it was above.
He called it. Yes, he does. I'm not going to get into it because you could go look up the franchise rule 3.21. It is above all other belts and any other sanctioned.
Okay, so why isn't it around anymore? Why wasn't Canelo rocking
because nobody has petitioned for it anymore. You got to petition for it, just like Tio petitioned for the super belt at the WBO.
But we're sidetracking with the franchise belt. Back to so you're saying that nonprofits are allowed to make profits? Like
yes, they're allowed to make profits.
Are they limited on how much profit?
No, they're not limited. They're not limited. They're not limited. What they cannot do is.
Oh my God!
You
so in that case, why would anybody have a for-profit business? I know business owners, brother. Okay, that you're just wrong about.
Really?
Why would anybody? Let me finish this point. Why would anybody be a for-profit business and pay all these taxes and not be tax exempt when they could just make profits from being a nonprofit organization?
Why do you think VADA's a nonprofit?
That's not answering my question.
Because what ends up happening is they're then obligated to have certain points like WBC does with charitable events and other champions of form where they do.
They're not obligated.
They are under the tax code.
WBC is not obligated to do
under the tax code. They are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. They're not.
Go ahead. Go. I don't know what you're reading.
They're not obligated to do charity, brother.
They have to reinvest the surpluses of their money to organizations of what they're standing on. Yes, that's what they do.
Okay, but okay. Yes, the surplus of their money is profit. All you just said right now is profit. Okay. So, okay, they need to spend that money, right? They need to show how it's benefiting the sport of boxing is what they need to do.
The
right?
difference is
so they're not that's not what for profit is though. For profit is if HLD owns a business that it's a convenience store, right? All the money that HLD makes profits on is HLD's money, and nobody
right. It's the owners and the shareholders. But guess what? A nonprofit cannot have an IPO, cannot sell stocks on this company. They can't do none of that. That's the difference. But now
you're arguing the obvious, but no, they're not
yeah,
allowed. But when I say maybe the misunderstanding is when I say you're allowed to make profit, right? You turned it into the whole like the little loophole here. Oh, because if you have a surplus, but you have to spend it on.
It's not a loophole. It's what it is. You're not reading the tax code, D-style.
No. I'm explaining to you what you explain, right? You just don't like the fact that I use the word loophole. But
there it is. Look at what it says at the bottom. May not benefit any private shareholder or individual.
100%. I read that part.
Okay, so they are still a business. They still have to pay their overheads. They still have to do their charitable contributions on the pluses that they get.
Yeah, but HLD, you're being very misleading when you say.
How am I misleading? That's exactly what it is.
Hold on. Right now, you're making the argument that they need to show how they're spending their money for the benefit of the sport of boxing. That's what they need to do. That's what they put in their tax forms. Okay, but yesterday I heard you were saying that he doesn't need to answer to anybody. He can do whatever he wants with the money.
As a business.
No. He's not a private business.
It's still a business. It is still a business.
No.
Regardless how it's a structured business.
No. Does he or does he not need to answer? You cannot have it both ways. Does he or does he not need to show what he's spending the money for?
On the charity stuff, yes.
On everything. Every dime that he gets for the WBC.
Do you see how much he makes?
Every dime that
WBC
gets, they need to show what they're spending it on, bro.
I saw you looked up some forms. Do you see how much Mauricio Suleiman makes?
What is it? Mauricio,
because you say they got to show everything. I'm just saying.
As far as what they spent for the WBC?
No. I'm saying how much does the president of the WBC make and his non and there's two things, non-profit and non-for-profit.
He gets his money through the slush fund is what he does.
No, you see, now you're making up your own assumptions. You're not.
No, I'm not making any assumptions, HLD.
You just said that they have to declare it.
I'm not making any assumptions.
You said that they have to declare it.
I'm not making any assumptions. What I'm telling you is, okay, yesterday you were saying he doesn't need to answer to anybody, okay, what the money goes to, but he does.
No, he doesn't have to answer to how much he pays himself. Do you know how much he makes?
We don't have a clear understanding what he makes.
Don't. But guess what? If you work for the public state, for an example, if you're a state employee,
the tax form does show, but they do show how they allocate the monies.
Well, because you have a tax code exemption, which they have to do that. They got to put down on the tax form how much they put into the charity funds. Yes.
Okay, so what you're saying? What are you arguing? Are you arguing that Mauricio can take whatever
I'm arguing that you're saying that they're not a business. There's two definitions too.
They're not a for-profit business.
No, they're not. But they're still a business. Okay. They're still a business.
Are they a for-profit business? Yes or no?
No, they're not a for-profit.
Okay, bro, when people say a business, that's what they're talking about.
No, man, the word bit. No.
When you say he doesn't need to account for what he's spending the money on, you're just wrong about that.
No, then do you know how much he makes? Do you know how much he makes?
It doesn't matter what he makes.
No, it does matter how much he makes, because if you such a corrupted guy, you know how much he makes.
Salary Mauricio Suleiman gets, he needs to pay federal taxes for. That's besides the point.
That has nothing to do with you saying
nobody knows what I make.
All the money that they make.
All the money you make and what I make. Right?
All the money that they
don't pay taxes.
All the money that he gets into the WBC, which he pays himself from. Right? Because it's coming from that. But how come the only thing he has to show to the public is a charity?
No. Okay. Well, he has shown the charity. It's not.
It's the only thing he has to share.
It's not adding up. Like what he's taking the sanction fee is not adding up with the amount of money that's being allocated to the Jose Sulaiman fund.
Because the tax code doesn't say that you got to give so much of everything you make. It just says you got to put
the tax code. There's no specifics with the tax code in terms of you got to give this percentage, right? When Mauricio says, "Oh, $225,000 of the Jose Sulaiman fund was going to go to the Jose Sulaiman fund," right? When he says that, that's not because a tax code is making him do it, or he needs to do that, or needs to show that. No, he was lying.
No, you have to do that. It goes into a Vegas fund who runs that organization because it doesn't. It's his father's name, but it's the Vegas commission who runs it.
When they're collecting a sanctioning fee, they're collecting a sanctioning fee, okay, as a nonprofit organization, as a 6C, a C6.
And you don't think he pays himself from that?
No, hold on. That's what they're collecting money. They're not collecting money as a charitable organization.
No, it's not a charitable organization.
They're not collecting money, okay, as a a C3. They're collecting as a C6. I'm sorry, right? That's how they're collecting the money.
That would be a non-for-profit, like a charitable. There's two names. These styles, it's non-profit and non-for-profit.
You keep claiming that he could do whatever he wants with the money. That's just not true.
Yes, he can. As long as he puts into the charitable funds that he's
not anything he wants. Like he needs. Hold on, HLD. You're starting from the position. Like, here's the problem. You're starting from the position because you don't like Crawford. That Crawford's wrong.
No, that's a lame argument.
And then, hold on. And then you're working your way backwards. You're working your way backwards from there. Kind of like you worked your way backwards. I didn't say you don't like Sulaiman.
You're using that against me. That's BS.
No, but I'm starting from the position, of that what type of organization Mauricio Sulaiman runs.
I don't like Sulaiman. Say it.
It doesn't matter if you like him or not, but there is a clear what. So it's just a coincidence that you're always against Bud all the time.
I'm not against Bud about what he beat Canelo or that he beat 3-time undisputed. That he beat Canelo, a great fighter. No, there's no argument.
Hold on, like he beat Canelo, brother. That's not up to.
I mean, is that on BoxRec? He beat Canelo, right?
Okay. Wow, HLD. Like, all you're doing is stating a fact. That's it.
So then, what's your point?
You don't get brownie points.
You're trying to accuse me of being biased when you're extremely biased. When you're extremely biased against Mauricio Sulaiman.
Hold on. So because you acknowledge that Bud beat Canelo, you're not biased against Bud? Is that what you're saying?
What would I be biased against Bud? For what? See, the problem that I've been having with this entire issue is hearing, and I said it yesterday too, if you want to, is that I listen to good brothers like yourself thinking that two wrongs make a right. That's okay to steal from a robber.
So are you saying that the WBC is in the wrong?
Not in this case, no.
Well, you said two wrongs don't make a right. So why?
Right, because you think that he's corrupted. It's okay.
Why say that?
You're interrupting me, D-Style. Because you think that he's corrupted. It's okay for Bud to then gloat in the belt, go for undisputed, and then I have to pay his dues.
What dues? Like, this is not a due.
No, it is his dues. You have to pay when you're
I pay dues to like my gym, and I pay dues like.
And guess what? When you pay money to a charitable organization, how come only like maybe 10% only goes to the cause and 90% goes to everybody who works under the charitable contribution? It's the same.
There's a lot of slush funds going on out there, but there's a lot of corruption going on.
That's just the way it is.
No, that's not the way it is.
Bro, you can look up all these charitable contribution companies out there that are supposedly.
I know people that run charities that don't do that, okay, but I do know what you're talking about.
It's exactly that.
Right? Okay, it is what it is. It doesn't mean, right? So the people that, basically run charities as slush funds, we can both agree are corrupt pieces of shits, right?
They are when they are not for profit.
Right. I'm glad we agree. So
they are not for profit. Not for profit.
No. We had an agreement that people that take donations and the example you gave me that only 10% of it goes to the cause and the rest of it gets pocketed by the people that run the organizations, right?
They pay their
we can both agree. Let's leave boxing WBC out of it for a second. We can both agree that people that do that are pieces of shits, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm glad we agree. So now you see why I think Mauricio Sulaiman's a piece of shit.
Well, because his company is not a charitable. It's not a only charitable
It's not a charitable. It's not. It's not.
No, there is a part. It's a part because of their tax code. But if they're not, they're
the
not
WBC. The WBC does not need to contribute to charities.
Yes, they
Period.
do.
No, they do not.
Yes, they do.
No, any profits that they make cannot be are not supposed to be pocketed by them because it's not for them to keep as a profit.
And why do they have to then report it to the IRS that they're doing this with this money? Because they cannot keep it, so they have to make sure they put it back into whatever cause that they stand on.
It needs to be for the common cause. In this case, would be boxing. It doesn't necessarily be a charity.
Right.
It could be like something they do for themselves. Well, how do you think they do like these lavish conferences and all that? How do you think they pay for that?
But that's the only.
How do you think they pay for that, HLD?
That's the only thing you're looking at. You're not looking at that. There's people.
You're
not looking at that. There's people who fought under not even being champions. Because I got this from Bruce Gass that he knows someone who at least fought for the sanctioning body. And
yes,
and he's getting a check. So where does that money come from?
We know about the amounts, and it's pale in comparison.
Okay, so that's what you have to do.
What I'm telling you is, this is what I'm telling you. Okay, you cannot argue they need to show everything when it's convenient, and then argue, but they don't show everything when it's convenient.
Then blame the tax code.
The reality is, HLD, everything needs to be accounted for because they're not allowed.
No, you want it to be like that, but that's not the fact. You want it to be like that because then you would know how much money Suleiman makes. Just like I can look up any state employee in any state and look up how much they make.
They show like in the portion of the taxes and their forms, they do show the money that they allocate, for expenses. What do you think that, a sanctioning body, all right, they have every right, and you'll get no argument from me or anybody who's sensible, right, to charge a sanctioning fee for operating costs, number one, and second, for salary, so that could go under that's part of the operating cost, right?
How much did they report they did? I'm curious to know that number. You looked it up. I don't know. What's that number?
What do you mean?
The operation cost for WBC. They report that because I saw you pull up some.
They claim they spent like over $5 million and they received $4 million. That's what they claim.
Now you do know that you can also donate to the WBC. There's people on the outside who send money to them too. Private entities and shit like that too.
Yeah, you can give money to a nonprofit. Yeah.
Right. So that's my point. Is that you expect it to be that they have to show everything and this and that. No, you only have to show that whatever is the surplus.
Define everything because this is where you're playing this
because you don't know.
Am I saying that we need to receive this line item with every single little thing?
Hey, don't you do that?
If someone goes to the corner store and buys a Snicker bar, and he needs to show it on a line item. That's not what I'm saying.
Hey, well, right? Then what are you saying?
Well, what I'm telling you is that when you look at the grand scheme of things, it looks like only $900,000 or a little over that, has actually gone to the Jose Suleiman Foundation, and he's claiming most of it goes there when the numbers don't add up because he's collecting way too many sanctions fees all over the world from promoters and from fighters.
He can take, and this is his allocation. He gets 300. For example, with this cause with Bob Crawford, there's 300,000. It could be up to him to say, "Yeah, we're going to put this much of this for that."
You believe that the same organization, they've only put like $1 million to that foundation, right? They've only allocated.
I'm surprised it's that much. I'll be honest.
In the last 10 years, and you actually believe that 25,000 from Crawford's purse was going to go to that same organization? You actually believe that?
Do not show how much they already put in this year? You showed the tax revenue.
I did see the taxes
for this year, right? For
the spending, and what they're claiming is not adding up, is what I'm telling you.
Well, they're not a charitable company in itself. They're not.
I know they're not a charitable company.
Okay, so then fighters. So nobody is saying that.
They shouldn't be extorting fighters to give them more money for the charity then. So they're not.
Then fighters don't have to fight under their banners.
If they just took what Bud gave the IBF, the WBA, the WBO, right?
I have to.
That would cover all of their expenses.
This is not socialism. We don't get to decide how everybody got to get the same. What the fuck are we talking about? They're an individual company. They have their fees, and he actually brought it down from 3%.
Like the only problem with this is in socialism argument, right? Is that you want to have a capitalistic argument, but they're not working.
It is a capitalistic argument.
No.
They charge what they want. You can't tell them. You cannot charge them what they want.
No. The WBC is a form of socialism because all they do is take. They take from the fighters, right?
No, socialism is you wanting to have everything
equal. It's a form of socialism.
And take from one and give it equal to the others.
Right.
That's what socialism
they don't have to, like they don't pay any taxes, brother.
That's not socialism. That's part of the tax.
So no, I'm not saying that's why they're social. What I'm telling you is, right, that they're not like the Rockefellers here. Okay, they're not running a for-profit business and all about capitalism, baby. Let the best organization win.
They're a separate. They're still a separate entity. They don't have to abide by what the WBO does, WBA, and they don't have to. Who gives a flying fuck about them? Nobody does because they're individual autonomous companies.
So what?
So then you want to tell a company, oh, you got to take this?
Can you explain to me, other than saying who cares what they? Other than that, can you explain to me why was the sanction even good enough for 3 of the 4 sanctioning bodies, but not for Mauricio Suleiman?
Let them come out to say that.
No. Did you have any type of hypothesis when it comes to
my only hypothesis is there's 3% flat fee that he has. They brought it down to a 0.06. That is negotiation.
Cap. That's the automatic cap.
That is negotiation.
So 300,000 is the automatic cap. He didn't bring down anything.
Well, then he could have charged a whole above it if they wanted to, right?
I mean, he could do what he wants, I guess.
Okay, that's my point. So he's like, look, man, we're not trying to take because 3% of 50 million is $1.5 million.
What does he want? Like what does he? Why does he need to take that money from Crawford? Like other than ego,
because they have to run the
saying he has a right to do it. Other than he has a right to do it, can you explain to me like what benefit is it for the WBC in the boxing world? Right? How is he benefiting the boxing world by extorting Crawford for more money?
It's not about the boxing world. It's about
but everything they take has to be for the benefit of boxing. Everything they do, everything they do has to be for the benefit of boxing. That's how they are non-profit, and that's how they need to function. Company. That's not an opinion. Why? What benefit of boxing is it that he needs to extort Crawford for more money?
What benefit does Crawford have to want to fight under their banner?
That's not the answer the question.
Oh, you see, you want it only one way.
Answer the question.
They're both benefiting from this. You're just blinded by it. You're blinded. They're both benefiting from it.
Crawford is a professional fighter. He's not a non-profit organization. He's for-profit. He shouldn't make money. He's a prize fighter. He's supposed to fight for a prize.
Did he not benefit from fighting for the WBC belt?
Like the reality is, Terrence Crawford, right? Let me finish my point. Terrence Crawford is a fighter. He's not a non-profit organization, brother. So him making money, and he could be greedy if he wants. Okay, he's not about socialism. It's about capitalism, baby. He's a businessman. He is a businessman. He can talk about making profit. He can actually say, no, that's too much for me. He's in a position to say that. Mauricio Suleiman is not. Mauricio Suleiman is a moocher. Mauricio Suleiman is running a non-profit, and he's tax exempt because he benefits from socialism, right? That you claim that you're against. Okay, that's what he is.
No,
he's a moocher.
Did Crawford benefit for fighting for the WBC belt?
Is Crawford a non-profit organization?
Did Crawford benefit for fighting under their banner?
The standard is different. It's a different standard.
No, it's not different. This is a business.
Is Terrence Crawford a non-profit organization?
You pay me a sanctioning fee. You fight for my belt, and you benefit for fighting for my belt.
Is Terrence Crawford? Is Terrence Crawford a non-profit organization?
No, he's not.
No.
Well, no.
Terrence Crawford is a professional prize fighter.
And he benefited from
Terrence Crawford is here to make profits. No one is denying that.
So he donates the penalty.
So the standard is different.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Crawford could say, "This is what I'm going to pay you, the same amount that I'm going to pay." Your sanctioning fees, right? He offered the same amount, and the WBO had no problem with it. The WBA, the oldest one of all, had no problem with it.
Oh, the most correct one you should be talking about is the WBA.
The WBO had no problems with it. The IBF had no issues with it. The WBA had no issues with it. Nobody had a problem. But since Mauricio Suleiman made the decision that he's better than everybody, and guys like HLD will cape for him and think he has a right to do it, and he can do whatever he wants with the money, right? He could do whatever he wants. Just because he could do it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do, HLD.
And it's
Right.
like, and just
Like,
because
if you want to tell me that Terrence Crawford is being greedy, well,
No.
then
I'm
you're just
saying
right.
that he
Then
benefited.
okay, that's fine, but it's not out of the scope of what a
he
prize fighter
benefited
is.
from he didn't have to fight for the WBC belt, did he?
But he did fight for it.
Okay, so he did. So he made a
did fight.
choice to want to fight for it, to benefit from becoming 3-time undisputed, and that's what he did. And he was able to
So-
glow with the belt and show the world on the marketing business side there's a profit of
Terrence
making
Crawford
fighting
fought
for the belt.
for the belts, right? He fought for the belts the same way.
The status, yes.
No, hold on. Don't act like they're doing Terrence Crawford this big favor when Ryan Garcia's about to fight for a belt, brother. After he got his ass whooped by Rolling.
Okay.
We just had Fulton didn't make weight, and he fought for that same belt that you're over here caping for.
Oh, guess what? Guess who also fought for that belt? And they also paid for the same fee. That was also Shockey Foster. Did you hear any other fighters yesterday at post conference bitching that they're paying the 3% fee for any of their belts?
Fighters bitch about the
Did you hear Pitbull Cruz, Lamont Roach, Shockey, Fulton bitching that they had to pay 3% fee yesterday?
Are you saying specifically if they bitched about it yesterday?
No, because
like,
this is a topic
on December 6th, did any of these fighters on the PBC card bitch about the title, the sanction fees? No, that doesn't prove anything.
I didn't hear Pitbull, Laurent Roach. I didn't hear any of them talking.
Are any of them paying $300,000?
They're paying 3%.
Are they paying $300,000? Is my question.
Well, I wouldn't know what their salary is.
And how do you know what the percentage they're paying? Do you know for a fact what they're paying? Some fighters negotiate.
Because
fighters negotiate the percentage.
You can negotiate. It doesn't mean the rules don't say you must negotiate. You can negotiate. You can negotiate.
So now we're gonna go to this point, right? Let's circle back a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Circle back a little bit, okay? So you're over here. You're making the argument that Terrence Crawford needs to pay what Mauricio tells him, right? He needs to pay it.
Yep.
Or else, or he's a bad person.
No, he just gets stripped of the belt and that's it.
Does it make him a bad person?
Makes who a bad person?
Crawford.
No, he didn't pay his dues.
No, it doesn't, right? But you know who
didn't pay his
is a
dues.
bad person?
He benefited and he sniffed
you know who is a bad person for running a fucking a scheme with a nonprofit and then ripping this country off, ripping this country off by being tax exempt, right?
That's our government. We have it like that.
Mauricio Suleiman is a corrupt piece of shit, and you're defending him because you feel he has the right to do it, right?
He has a right.
Let me ask you this, HLD, like churches are tax exempt, right?
It's his business. You don't want to go there, don't go there.
Churches are tax exempt, yes or no?
For the most part, yeah.
They're tax exempt, brother.
Oh, for the most part, yeah. I mean,
the answer is yes. It's yes.
For the most part. Yes.
Well, you're trying to leave yourself some wiggle room with the most part?
Because, hey, do you know for a fact that every single one of them are? I don't know. Like, I'm saying for the most part. 90%, 95%, 99%.
How do you feel like when you see a pastor, right? Did you ever watch that viral film or that viral video of that one lady that like the pastor was having all their congregation walk up the steps, right? And she's there with her son, and she's like all proud, saying, "I'm gonna give $200 to the church. That this is for the church, for my family, to you." And then the pastor gets on his feelings, and he's like, "Did you guys not understand that I said $1,000 and this is all you're gonna give me?" And she even said, "Okay, I'll try to come up with the money." Like, don't even come up here. Don't even embarrass yourself by only offering me $200. That's Mauricio Suleiman, bro.
But a church is not the same thing as
hold on. That pastor has a right to do that. He could say, "Well, if you want to be a part of my church, this is what you got to give me." Right?
No,
he could do that if he wants.
Part of my church.
Just because he could do that, just because the $200 from that woman wasn't good enough, right?
But that's
even
not a
though
business.
his tax exempt ass is able to take all this money tax free,
but it's not a business. It's not a business.
No. What do you mean? It is a business.
No, it's not a business.
By your definition, it's a business.
No, there's two definitions. You again, you're
by
not reading everything.
Definition, a church is a business as well.
No.
By your definition, a church is a business as well.
You know you're wrong. I know you're wrong, but it's okay.
But
a church compared
they're
to
not
a
a business. HLD. By my definition, they're not a business.
Oh, your definition
By
doesn't
your
matter because it's not a
definition.
fact. It's an
By
opinion.
your definition,
No,
it's
the
a business.
definition of what it is a fact. What you're making up your own is not a fact. My definition, that's not a fact.
What do you mean?
My definition is not a fact. It's what the definition
So
is.
if churches are not a business, well, why do we have these pastors flying in jets and golden ceilings in the churches and all these?
So you're going to conflate all of the churches like that?
How do they live in these mansions? By the way,
first of all, you're comparing a church.
No. I agree. You know what? I agree. I'm talking about the mega churches, right? Like the WBC is a mega sanctioning body, so that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the mega churches.
It's not even the same with this. This is a business. The church is not.
So are you saying that Mauricio has a right to do what the pastor does? Because it's a different type of business?
It's a different business. It's not even a business. You're calling the church a business.
So you're saying that Mauricio's allowed to do what the pastor does, or what you're saying?
No, shame on you comparing a church to a business.
No. I mean, why shame on me?
Are there pieces of shit pastors out there?
I'm shaming the pastor in this example is what I'm doing.
Yeah, but you're comparing apples and oranges because they're not on the same thing.
If you want to defend the pastor, you could do that, but that's what I'm doing.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that what you're comparing is apples and oranges. Apples and oranges.
Can you listen to what I'm asking you?
Go ahead.
Can you listen?
Go ahead.
What that pastor did to that woman, was that wrong? Yes or no?
Oh yeah, extremely morally wrong. Morally wrong.
I agree. Right,
but in the sense of legal,
hold on, HLD, hold on, like
not legally wrong, unfortunately.
It's not legally wrong, but it's morally wrong, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you just said that the pastor's not allowed to do that a second ago, but now you're saying it's not legally wrong. So which one is it?
What the hell are you saying?
I literally said the pastor should not be allowed to do that, and then you said yes, he is. You just said that right now, but
we're talking about Mauricio Suleiman.
No. I'm still talking about the pastor. You went over to Mauricio already.
First of all, you're comparing a charitable, which is a different tax bracket for the churches. That is not the same where Mauricio Suleiman.
That aside, I'm talking about.
So then why we bringing in noise? Like you said earlier, you're bringing in noise.
More money. It's the easiest question of all time.
You're talking about not making analogies, and you're bringing in a church.
Hold on. Let me just ask the question: Is it wrong to extort that female, that pastor? Was it wrong? Yes or no?
It's morally wrong. Yeah, it was morally wrong.
But it's not legally wrong. Is what you're saying, right?
Unfortunately, it's not. He could have said what he said.
But it's wrong, right?
Well, it's morally wrong.
When he says it's morally wrong, it's just wrong, period, right? Like it's just that's where morals come from, right?
No shit.
I agree 100%. We're in the same, right? It's morally wrong. It's wrong, period. Okay, cool, right? Even though the pastor could do it because it's not illegal, right? You see how he could do it
because he expressed it.
Hold on. He could do it, right? It doesn't mean he's not a piece of shit for not doing it. We both agree he's a piece of shit, but we also agree it's not illegal, right? She could go to a different church. She doesn't have to give him the money. She doesn't want. I get it, right?
Well, she's not obligated by any type of contract to do that.
100%.
She can just go in there not pay.
But what you're saying is that just because it's a different type of tax bracket, then Mauricio's allowed to do that to the fighters.
No, because this is a business. And there's a benefit of transaction between both parties.
No.
You have to interrupt me, D-Style, because you know you cannot beat this argument when it comes to the fact.
Don't say no, then say yes.
Because you want to compare. I already told you 300 times.
Don't say no, then yes.
The church and
hold on, because you're not following me. You're not following me.
I'm not going to follow you.
Like you were so close yet so far.
No, you just think that you want to compare a church to Mauricio Suleiman.
No, I'm not comparing the church to Mauricio Suleiman.
Then why bring in the noise? That's what you did.
Right?
You said
if
that.
anything, some of these churches are worse than Mauricio Suleiman.
You said to us that you were not going to bring in noise. And look at this. You're bringing in another analogy.
Hold on.
You're bringing the wrong analogy. And you're wrong.
Let me finish my point, HLD, because you're not following me, right? I agree with you. You don't even know it, right? We both agree that in this example, the pastor's a piece of shit, right? We both agree it's wrong, right? We both agree that he should have done that to the woman, but we also agree that it's not illegal, right? I'm not making let's leave aside whether Mauricio should be allowed to do it because it's a business or not, right? What you're saying essentially is, well, Mauricio could do what the pastor does because he has a business to run and the pastor doesn't. That's what
This
you're
is not
arguing.
a donation. What the fuck are we talking about? What Crawford owes is not a donation.
No. Any extra amount you're asking for that you don't.
No. That you're talking after when you're gonna sign for.
Mauricio Sulaiman claims.
It's a
when
fee.
Mauricio claims, right, that
225,000 was going to go to the
that
Sulaiman
most
fund.
of it's going to go to a charity. All of a sudden, it becomes.
He's just expressing what he's going to
contribution.
do with it. So
No, then it becomes a charitable contribution at that point.
it becomes his charitable contribution.
It's no longer. No. It's going to another fund, right? You're going to take it to you're going to put it in a charity.
It becomes his
You're going to put it in a charity at that point.
It becomes his charitable contribution.
It's no longer about. It's no longer about because Mauricio Sulaiman needs to use it for the wellness and good.
Would it have been Crawford's
under the WBC name?
Would it have been Crawford's contribution, or would it have been Mauricio Sulaiman's contribution?
So what you're saying is
you're not answering me.
What you're saying is that once Crawford gives the money to Mauricio, right, it now becomes Mauricio's money. So then the contribution is Mauricio's to the Jose Sulaiman.
Is what they end up doing with it.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I'm following. Okay, see, so don't act like I'm not listening. I'm listening to you, right?
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
My argument is
now, did he use it as a guilt trip? Yes, he did.
What I'm gonna tell you is that is a piece of shit move, and it's very similar.
No, it's a guilt trip move.
Right? And he's doing what that pastor did to that woman. Is what
in a sense, but still, the money Crawford owes is
in
money
a sense he's doing it right.
No, because the money that Crawford owes.
You just said in a sense.
No, Crawford owes the money.
You said
Crawford owes the money.
He has a transaction. You already said it. You said that in a sense, right?
No, you saying it.
So, like, they're not supposed to be making profits. They're not supposed to be making profits, right?
Yes, they are supposed to be making profits.
No, they're not.
WBC?
No, they're not. No, they're not. No,
You're
they're not.
wrong. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
They're supposed to be covering their expenses, right? On their operating costs, their salaries, and what they say their mission is. That's it.
No, they're not.
That's all
you're comparing them to a charitable contribution.
Go look at the tax form. They explain what their purpose is.
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
They should open. If they want to be a charitable organization, they need to stop this loophole where Mauricio gets to take
a non-profit organization isn't about not making money.
They need to stop this loophole for their slush fund. Because what they're doing is, HLD, let me finish my point, HLD.
You've been finishing a lot of them.
Like, because I'm cooking. Like,
you're not cooking.
Have to go back to
this is hilarious.
No, like if he wants to open a 3C, then go open a 3C. He has every right to do that if he wants. And he can take all the donations he wants, right? He can take any donation.
Well,
he can take a picture
donations.
with it.
You don't understand.
He can take like whatever Canelo gives him. He can take like that picture, with the check and stuff, and he might even get more money out of it, right? But that's not what he wants. He doesn't want to spend 100% of it on the fighters in need.
D-Style. If your argument is that you just don't like the way he's functioned, that's one thing. But to say that there is not a business transaction between Terrence Bud Crawford and the WBC, you would be 100% wrong. There is a business transaction, and he owes the fees for what he got.
HLD, he did not pay what they extorted him for. You would say
it's not extortion. It's not extortion.
Fine.
You don't get to tell me how much I charge.
You can look at however you want. You can look at however you want.
You don't get to tell me as a
said,
business
I'm going to say what you said. I'm going to say what you said. You literally said he needs to give Mauricio Sulaiman the money so Mauricio can make a contribution with his money to the Jose Sulaiman.
That's not what I said.
That's what you said. No, that's
what you said.
No,
what I said is what they ended up doing with the money.
No, everybody can go back. Okay, like I'm just saying, everybody can go back.
This is sad, man.
They can go step by step. They can go step by step.
He could do what he wants with the money once they get it.
I asked you, is that what you're saying? You said yes.
Yeah, because it's not a contribution.
People can roll it back.
Is Bud's fees a contribution, or is it a fee that he owes?
No, but here's the thing.
No, answer the question, D-Style.
The issue is...
Answer the question. Is the money that Crawford owes a contribution or a fee that he owes?
Can Crawford get sued and arrested for not paying Sulaiman the fee?
If they wanted to.
Would they win?
I don't know about arrested, but I mean, you could sue.
Would they win? Would he win if he took Crawford to court?
Yeah, he wins because just on
No,
the
he
argument
wouldn't.
that he said,
No, he
just on the
wouldn't.
argument.
No, he
you
wouldn't.
like to interrupt me
No, he
too much,
wouldn't.
D-Style.
No, he wouldn't.
D-Style, let me finish. Let me
one.
finish.
Name me
D-Style,
one
let me
lawsuit the
finish.
WBC has won.
Don't
Name
do
me
that.
one. They
You're
never
not
win
letting me
lawsuits.
finish, and that tells me
They
that
never
I know
win.
I'm
They
killing
never
you.
win in court.
I
Why
know
is
I'm
that each
killing
other?
you. I know
Why
I'm
do they
I'm
never win
killing
in
you.
court?
You know
When
how
a
I
fighter
know he wins
threatens
in
to
court?
sue or they take them to court, why do they never win?
You want to know how they would win for the fees if they wanted to?
They
It wouldn't
wouldn't
look
win.
good for them because it's a totally bad look.
So why does he do it?
Because I just said because it would be a totally bad look to be suing the boxer.
Why would
It's
he be bad
detrimental
luck?
for-
They're in the right. If they're in the right, well,
It
why would
doesn't
be
matter.
bad
It's a
luck?
bad look. It's a bad look. Just like
If it would
just
be
like
done
it
on,
was for Devin
okay, so
Haney.
you're telling me that the organization
Just
that's
like
never won.
Hey, just like it was for Devin Haney to sue Ryan Garcia.
You're telling me that the
that looks stupid
organization,
and wrong.
the organization that immediately does their eliminators or they honor anyway, their title fights when they get sued. When they get sued, right? They're mandatory. I couldn't think of the word mandatory, right? They honor their mandatories as soon as the fighter threatens to sue, right? The organization that was taken to court, I believe it was by Roy Jones, and then they went bankrupt. They declared bankruptcy because of it. You're telling me that organization, right, would win this case? You're wrong, brother. And I'll tell you why you're wrong.
No, you see, you keep on talking, and you're not going to let me make a point.
You know why you're wrong? I'll tell you why you're wrong. No, you're going to sit there and you're going to let me tell you why you're wrong. Right?
Go ahead and speak bullshit.
Exactly. The reason you're wrong is, and the reason Crawford would win is because Crawford's not hiding anything. We know what Crawford makes. We know what he gives the promoters. We know what he gives his trainers. We know what he wanted to pay.
You do know
he would
that?
have to show. Hold on, let me finish. He would have to show what he paid the IBA, WBA. We would know everything, right? The WBC would have to open its books. The WBC being a non-profit organization, right? A 6C would have to show and justify why they're charging the exorbitant amount that they're charging.
You don't know shit
and you know what wouldn't work in court?
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
HLD, you know what wouldn't work? What wouldn't work is, well, I could charge whatever I want. That wouldn't work in court.
Because it's written in the rules. It's 3%, period.
It wouldn't work in court, HLD.
And you know why it would work? Because he already admitted that he owes money, and because of past
work in court.
then
he should take him to
court.
Then take him to court. Take him to court.
You're totally disrespectful because you know you're not gonna win the argument.
He's like that pastor, bro.
Look at that.
And you're like that dude that was standing next to the pastor.
Oh my God, bro! This tells me so much of the way y'all thinking overall of everything else. The bottom line is he would lose because he already admitted that he owes money.
HLD, remember when
he owes money.
HLD,
he owes money.
HLD, hold on.
And in past practices, he's already done so.
HLD, remember when you said that Ryan wouldn't be suspended? Remember when you said that when
not for failing a drug test, not for failing a drug test.
Remember when you said that none of that would happen?
Why did takeaways win? The drug testing, no, he didn't.
Did takeaways win?
That's another argument. That's not the same thing.
The takeaways win, right?
That's not the
same. You came up with all these legal reasons.
No, because guess what? What did they suspend him for, D-Style?
You would tell me I
was wrong. Go ahead, let's be a man and say.
You would tell me that he would be fine, that the Haney don't have a case. That's what you said.
You're in red herring arguments because you cannot win this argument. But go ahead.
No. I'm just reminding you that you're wrong about that. You're wrong about this.
What does Ryan Garcia get suspended for?
He got suspended, brother.
For what?
What do you mean for what?
For what?
You didn't know that he tested positive?
I asked you what he got suspended for.
That's what he got suspended for.
No, I want you to say, what did he get suspended for?
I mean, I don't know the letter of the law, what they wrote down.
No, you know everything.
Reason,
you know not for
the
profit.
reason he lost his belt. The reason he lost his belt. If he wouldn't have tested positive for Austrian, he would still have the belt. Or not the belt.
There was no belt on the line.
There was no belt. I apologize. There was no belt, but he would still have his win.
That's still
yes. He would not. He would. Devin Haney would have a loss in his record if he didn't test positive for Austrian. Period.
Why did he get suspended?
Period.
Why did he get suspended?
The reason he no longer has his win is
no. You don't want to answer it. Go ahead, politician. Answer my question.
No, what do you mean? I don't
answer directly.
I answered the question.
Suspended for?
We'll let the jury decide if saying if he didn't test positive for Austrian, he was not
You really don't understand. This is administrative law, and there's no jury. Now, what did he get suspended for?
What he still has
Here, I'll tell you
if he
because I'm
tests
not playing the
positive for
games you
us,
want
yes
to
or
play
no?
because I'm a straight shooter. He got suspended because the 2 supplements that he took the day of the rehydration were not declared on the New York State Athletic Commission medical team. And since those 2 supplements were not declared, for those 2 supplements is what he got suspended for. He couldn't argue it because he paraded to the world that he used those 2 supplements. That's what he got suspended for. He did not get suspended for VADA testing because VADA testing is not part of the New York State Athletic Commission adjudication. So they're not part of it. So VADA rules don't mean shit.
You said he wouldn't be suspended and he was.
No, I said he wasn't going to be suspended for no VADA
No,
testing.
No. You moved the goalpost when you.
No, I didn't move the goalpost.
Right?
My tweet got 5 million hits, and everybody read it, understood
You just
it.
basically said that he did something wrong. He got suspended for it.
He got suspended for not declaring 2 supplements.
So that's all that matters.
No, what matters to you is that you lie and you wanted them bullshit like Mr. Nestor Gibbs and go around the circle and not be a man to say the truth.
No. Like,
and you're a host of a channel.
What does Mr. Gibbs have to do with
And you're a
anything?
good brother. That's what pisses me off about this.
What does Mr.
About
Gibbs
all
have to
these
do with
arguments, these
Why are you bringing up Mr. Gibbs?
Give me 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds.
I give you
what gets me elevated with all this is that I know good brothers like yourself, other good brothers that I entertain.
I'm a great brother.
Channels. You're good brothers, bro. You guys are good people, but then you guys are doing the bullshit that a person with true heart principles is supposed to carry, and you're not doing that. You're not doing that.
I'm supposed to side with the WBC.
No, I didn't say side. I said be a straight shooter. Be factual on the point.
I am being factual.
No,
I think here's the cold hard truth, HLD. Here's the cold hard truth, and I'll just give it to you.
Go ahead.
I don't think the WBC is above the other 3 sanctioning bodies. They should have taken the same amount of money. That's my opinion, and I'll stick to it. And I think that's the right call. And that's it. There's no. But the problem with you is that you're trying to justify. For
an example, here's a basic example. We all know that Target stores.
You know damn well, Suleiman's like that pastor, bro.
You don't let me finish.
He's that pastor.
Let me finish.
He's that pastor trying to extort more money and shame.
Let me finish.
You know it.
There's a Target store not far from where I live at. They charge 30% more than what Walmart does.
So,
and I'm like, damn, that's a ripoff. Why don't they charge the same thing as fucking Walmart? And let me finish. But guess what? Because they're closer to me, I decided to go to them, and I got to pay them anyway. So I pay them the 30% extra.
Sure.
Do I have to go there? No, because I could have taken my ass to Walmart. But I still fucking go. Why? Because I am getting a benefit that they're closer to my home. It's a cleaner store, and I don't got knuckleheads going around that store like I go at Walmart. So I do benefit from going to that store. So yeah. So what if you didn't want to
benefit is okay. So explain to me, right? Because you just said Target is cleaner. You don't have to deal with the bullshit and all that, right?
Yeah.
So explain to me how that's adequate to the WBC comparison.
Real simple. The WBC belt in marketing stance is the most recognizable belt in boxing. It is the most coveted, and the public eyes in marketing it to make money. There's a reason why Turkey paid Canelo to fight that bum-ass Skull so he can make the fight for Undisputed. He didn't spend no $60-70 million.
But that was to get the IBF belt. That was to get the IBF belt, not the
right. So it could be an undisputed fight, right?
Right. He paid all that money to get the IBF belt, so they're all equally as.
So how much was it? $70 billion?
Other than your opinion, HLD, why is the WBC more valuable?
Because the WBC is the belt that brings the most money business-wise.
Says who?
Devin Haney, for an example. When Devin Haney signed off to Matchroom, no champion, he was making about $1 million. The moment he got the email belt, that bumped up to $3.2 million. Why? Because the WBC belt.
No, but they do that with every belt. Does that? Though.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Not every belt.
Yes, they do.
Not every belt. Not for a network. No, not for a network.
What do you mean?
Not for a network. Not for a network.
What about what Bivol got? Look at what Bivol got paid to fight Canelo. They didn't fight for the IBF. I'm sorry, for the WBC. It was the IBF.
For what? No, he fought for. It wasn't. No, for the IBF. I don't remember what belt it was at 175.
It was the IBF.
Okay, but it's Canelo. But Canelo was a commodity.
Exactly.
At that point,
a commodity.
Bud is not that commodity.
I'm glad you said that, right?
Bud is not that commodity.
So
then he's not. He does. So he needs help. Put pieces together so that he can make a bigger fight.
Well, the WBC. Let me tell you something, HLD. That whole week, not like. Let me tell you something. A lot of people told me they're going to watch the fight, right? Not one person stopped me and asked, "Hey, but is the IBF title on the line, Ross? I'm not going to watch it. It's not really worth it to watch it.
That's a good
right?
point. That's a good
Nobody
point.
asked me that, right?
So then why did
like,
Bud
like
Crawford
in other
want to
words,
fight for
so
the
you
belt?
brought up the skull example.
So then
That
why
was
did
the
Bud
IBF
Crawford
belt.
want to fight for it?
You brought up the skull example, why they paid all this money to Skull, why Turkey, why he had the IBF belt. It doesn't matter what belt you have, you need all four of them to create Undisputed. So they all have equal value when it comes to Undisputed. And when it comes to how big the fight was, that was Canelo. That was Canelo's people in the stadium. That wasn't Mauricio Suleiman's people. If the WBC brings in like a lot of money for all their fights, right? Then every WBC title fight will be in stadiums, but they're not. Every WBC title fight will be
that's such an exaggerated point. That's such an exaggerated point.
It's not an exaggerated point. It's a good point. You know
no,
it
it's
is.
not a good point because every fight is different. Because every
So
fight is
look,
different.
you come on here, right? You say that the nonprofits are for profit. You were wrong about that.
No, you're wrong.
No. We already clarified that. You were wrong.
No, you clarified it in your own little brain.
No, non-profit organizations are not for profit. They're literally two separate things. All right. So you could sit here. You could.
How about you're not Google? Go ahead, Google.
It's called a non-profit.
You see, you're only reading the title. You don't read the definition.
It's called tax exempt.
Okay.
All right.
Tax exempt doesn't mean you don't make a profit out of it.
So they need to use the money for operating costs, salaries to cover that, which is part of the operating costs.
And I think it's
right?
capped. They say that you only have to use only so
much. And for the purpose that they claim, like when they file the form,
up to a point.
When they file to be a nonprofit, they explain.
Does it say how much percentage it has to be?
They're in the business.
Does it say how much percentage they have to contribute?
So I get that your argument is that Mauricio can do whatever he wants with the money because this is money.
No, it's not whatever literally he wants with the money.
I get that that's your argument, brother, but you're missing my point, right?
Your point is your opinion. It's not a fact, though. That's the difference.
You and I already agreed that someone doing what that pastor did, whether legal or not, is immoral. So we both agree that Mauricio doing what he did was immoral, right? Now, like that, that's what
you said that.
So no, you agreed. So therefore, you agree with.
No, I didn't.
So
I agreed. I agreed that when he used the
HLD, now that we agree,
you like to interrupt too much. And every time a person interrupts another person getting cooked, he just tells them that they know they're getting slammed.
I'm the one talking. What do you mean? I'm the one in the middle talking.
That smirk, bro.
I'm the one in the middle talking. What do you mean? You're the one trying to interrupt me. What do you mean? So what I'm going to tell you is, now that we agree that
do not put words in my mouth, bro.
I'm gonna let you respond, but now that we both agree that he did the passer move on that lady, right? And we both agree it's not illegal, right? He wouldn't even win in court on it, to be honest with you.
He would,
but I would love for it to go to court. By the way, like the WBC always fails in court, but you're confident they would win this one, right? I'm sure. Like they're not gonna go to court for 300,000, and they felt that they were being robbed of 300,000. Like right. Like imagine being robbed of 300,000 and like not thinking it's not worth it to go to court for. Right?
Bud Crawford,
unbelievable. Imagine thinking you were robbed of that, right? Like I'm gonna go to a bank, take 300,000 from them, and they're not gonna do anything to me, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go to my job and take money from them, and they're not gonna take me to court, right? Like this is the level of like comprehension a lot of people have out here. We both agree that it's immoral but not illegal. All right, go ahead.
No, you're wrong. It is illegal because he has to pay the fee. It's not a contribution. It's not the same thing as a church, which you keep on conflating like it's the same. Te está riendo porque you know it. Now,
non-profit.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Just really quick. I don't want to interrupt. Just one more time. Tell the audience once again that non-profits are in it to make profit.
They are. They can make a profit. They can
not have a surplus, like a profit. Like he could do whatever he wants.
They cannot take a surplus to pay shareholders and owners like that.
No. Like you're telling me he has take-home money, Mauricio.
How's that?
A profit. Like when I say profit, I'm talking about like take-home money, like to put in his bank account.
He pays his salary and this and that, but anything beyond his salary, he cannot take.
Okay.
And that's the money that he has to put into whatever they say they do.
They're a non-profit, for-profit organization.
It's kind of like an oxymoron, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean, hey, that's the rules of the tax law. That's not. Don't blame the man who uses it. Blame the man who created it.
Right.
I mean,
even though it says not for profit, right?
But that does not mean that's the definition of what you're reading as it is. It's not.
I'm just saying not for profit. I just speak English. So it's
but then why didn't you look up the other one that says non-profit? Because there's two of them. You see, you do know that, right?
No. This is just the thing explaining what not for profit.
Yeah, but the term, there's two terms.
Yeah.
There's two terms. There are two different terms that people could use on the 501B, and I think there's a 501C with an A. But I mean, we're talking about tax codes.
Nonprofits can make money, HLD, but they have strict rules they need to follow.
Yeah,
okay?
and the IRS has not been knocking on his door, so he's doing okay.
They should be transparent. You're making the argument that he's not transparent. So I think Congress
because if he wasn't transparent, the
I
IRS
think
be knocking on his door.
I think we need
the
to open
IRS
the books.
be knocking on his door if he wasn't, wouldn't they?
But let me say this, and I'll let you finish. They're audit-free, pay-to-play, extortion, bribing machines is what they are. That's what they are, HLD. Defending it.
They're not audit-free.
They're
not
audit-free.
audit-free.
Let's
See, now
open
you're
the
lying
books.
again. Now you're lying
Let's
again.
open the books, and they have strict rules they need to follow. We need to know they're following those rules, and we need to know.
Well, the IRS is not
HLD just spilled the beans that Mauricio could pay himself whatever he wants, and we don't know what that is. So you know what? We need to start looking into this. Actually,
overall, the contributors,
you know what?
Especially for the contribution companies, yeah.
To be honest with you.
I mean, that's a different subject, but you're bringing in noise because you're not winning this argument when it comes to black and white.
People are saying when we say profit, by the way, I think you're talking about the surplus money. That's not what we're talking about.
Well, yeah, the surplus money is the profit, and they cannot put it in their pocket.
People are saying profit, that means that when my brother, he owns a business, right? All the profit he makes is his money. He doesn't need to explain to anybody what he does with that money.
But what that has to do with what we already established, that he has to abide by the 501c tax code.
But you just stated that he could pay himself whatever he wants. That's what you said. And
he
nobody
can
know what it is.
He can once it's already established. This is my salary.
You said it's none of our business that he could do whatever he wants. That's not true.
It's not.
No, that's not true, HLD.
Really? Then why is it out there we can see it?
Rules, and they need to be transparent.
What rules is that? Pull up the rule that it says that he has to show us how much he makes. Go ahead, please do that for us, Mr. Google Man. As Gemini, as ChatGPT,
you know what's happening? I'm glad we're having this conversation because it's gonna cause the WBC to open their books. I think that's what's gonna happen. I know. Are you in favor of them opening the books?
I don't have a problem. That's not my problem.
Okay, then cool. Then let's do it. Then we're in agreement.
All right, but my point is,
if he's got nothing to hide, then we're good.
But still, Crawford had a transaction with the WBC. He benefited from it, and now he has buyer's remorse because he cannot afford
HLD, just admit.
Hey,
that you got it wrong about the
Canelo pay, even though he lost, he paid. Damn,
that's great. Canelo could do whatever he wants. I don't judge Canelo whether he did or didn't. He can do whatever he wants with his money. It's Canelo's money.
That's what men do.
If Canelo wants to pay, that's good for him.
That's what men do. You pay your dues.
Come on.
That's what you do. You pay your dues.
So guess what, HLD? Somebody else in that congregation paid what that pastor wanted.
Stop bringing in the church thing because you're talking apples and oranges.
Like somebody else paid what the pastor wanted. Good for them, right?
It's apples and oranges.
We shame that lady because she didn't want to pay more.
Vada, how about we talk about Vada? Vada is a
HLD, I got like 5 minutes. I got to run. So
I'll let you wrap it up. I'll let you wrap it up. But hey, everybody,
cook.
No, look, you wanted to bring something that's comparable. Bring in Vada. Bring in Vada.
Why not the church?
Because they're not the same.
No, but they're similar.
No, it's similar, yeah. In 2025, they're saying that men and women are similar. Do you agree?
You're arguing that Canelo is that.
Hey, 2025, men and women are similar, they say.
So Canelo's that dude in the congregation that did pay the $1,000, right? Not like that cheap lady, right?
What cheap lady? No, I'm not calling her cheap. That was wrong, bro. We know that.
Well, we agree it was wrong. It was immoral to kind of like.
But it's not the same argument. Because once Mauricio Gonzalez collects a fee, not a contribution, once Mauricio collects a fee, he can then distribute it on his business the way he feels like.
No. But they have strict rules and guidelines they need to follow.
But it's not the fee is not a contribution. The fee is a due.
He doesn't just get to All I want you to admit is that he doesn't just get to do whatever he wants unaccounted for, and we don't get to question it. That's not how it works, bro.
No, the tax code has an amount from what they get in total revenue that they have to put towards.
According to Mauricio Suleiman, according to the filings in 2023, they're operating at a loss. Do you believe that?
I know that
operating expenses, according to him, was over $5 million, but what they received in sanction fees was like over $4 million, according to the tax filings in 2023 in Florida. Do you believe that they were operating at a loss?
Hey, with the lavish hotels and shit, who knows?
Probably.
You know, I mean, who knows?
You don't think there's a slush fund?
But you're confusing that there have to be this morality of kind of like a church and shit. When they're
okay, I agree. Like, it doesn't need to be a morality, but it's immoral.
It's not immoral when you owe money.
Well, why is it immoral when the pastor does it, but not when Mauricio does it? You like Mauricio?
Because it's not a fee.
Well, it's a due. It's the same thing.
No, it's not a due. It's a contribution. What that lady was doing was a contribution.
No. But according to the pastor, if you want to be part of that church,
it's a contribution. No, he didn't say he can't come here no more.
He shamed her.
Well, yeah, he shamed her. That's the piece of shit part.
I mean, he did the same thing Mauricio did.
Well, Mauricio said, what I was going to do with this. That part is, yeah, he was guilting it out there. I don't think you should have done that.
That's what the lawyer did. The lawyer did the same shit.
But hey, no, the lawyer didn't do the same. You're saying that you owe money,
right.
you pay.
Cook
Eddie,
for the next 5. I'm not going to interrupt you for 5 minutes, and then I got to run.
Yeah. Oh, you're letting me talk? Eddie Hearn said the same thing.
5 minutes, and then I got to run.
Eddie Hearn said the same thing. You still got to pay your dues. You receive the service, and you got to pay your dues. And you don't get to determine how much it is when it's already an established price. Simple as that. You don't sit down the bar. I've said this many times. I'm using it again. You don't go to the barber shop, look at the window and says, "Oh, it's $50 for a haircut." Go to the fucking barber and ask him, "Hey, is it $50?" He says, "Yes." You sit down, get the haircut, and then get up and say, "No, I'm only gonna pay you $5 because the flea market lady charges only $5, and she accepted that to me last time I had a haircut. So you got to do the same."
Can I interrupt you quick or not?
That's not socialism. It's not socialism, bro. You're not doing that. Darling, man, you can do what you want.
No, but like, what if like a organization is offering free haircuts, right? And then on the way out, they ask you if you can make a contribution, and if you don't, they start shaming you and saying that the contributions go to kids with cancer.
Well, that's different. That's what the church is doing. That church that you were speaking, that's what they were doing.
That's what Mauricio's doing, bro.
No, it's not, because it's a fee. It's not the same.
Or what?
It's not the same.
I mean, I'm just saying, right? Like because your examples aren't the same either. Your examples are business.
It is exactly the same. Bud received a service. He paraded with the WBC belt. He promoted his fight for the undisputed.
But they're not charging for a service. That's how
it is a service.
The sanctioning body is not here to provide services.
The services you're fighting for
or to enhance the amount of money the fighters make. That's not.
Well, he wouldn't have got $50 million fighting Canelo.
You want to know what the point of the sanctioning body is? To have a
good
rank.
Would have Canelo and Crawford made the same amount of money for 3 belts?
Yes.
You're lying.
100%.
Netflix would not have picked it up. They wanted it to be for undisputed.
What are you talking about, brother?
Netflix would not have picked it up. That's the reason why.
The data doesn't even show that.
There's a reason why Turkey.
HLD. Don't try to school somebody that's gonna fucking educate you, bro.
You're not educating me.
So no. Let's just stick to the facts here, okay?
Well, I'm not bringing up.
What is the highest grossing fight of all time?
Gross?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Pacquiao, you started watching boxing 2 years ago. Pacquiao
because I've heard also that these Ali fights in the 70s had like billions of views too. So I don't know what the networks made back then.
Fine. That's fine. And let's talk about the 4-belt era, right? That's relevant to this.
Well,
right?
that would be that Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, was that for undisputed?
No, that was
or all 4 belts in the line.
Right, those 2 legends didn't need. They don't need the belts.
Okay, Canelo doesn't need the belt either, brother. Like it is what it is.
Crawford does.
Crawford does. It would have made the same amount of money.
Crawford does not bring in jack. We know that. Are you saying that Crawford has the same
one
marketing value as
Crawford is
Canelo?
Turkey Al Sheik, not the WBC.
Hey, is Crawford the same marketing value
Well,
as Canelo?
Let's. I'm not done.
You're saying that Canelo and
I'm
Crawford
not done.
are
I'm
the
not
same
done
marketing value?
cooking, brother. I'm not done cooking. Right?
I wasn't done either, but you interrupted me in my
But
5 minutes.
let me say this. Let me say this. Was Tank versus Bryan for Undisputed?
Are you saying that they have the same marketing value as Crawford?
No. Was it for Undisputed? Yes or no?
Oh no, but their marketing value is 10 times more than Crawford.
What's the market value of Ryan Garcia fighting in half-empty arenas? What are you talking about?
Networks love it.
Right?
Networks love it.
No. You're saying that a fight needs to be for Undisputed for the fighters to make more money.
No, when you have a shitty marketing value, you need it. Yeah, when you have a shitty marketing value, when you get to a higher status like Canelo, you really don't.
No. Now you're changing the goalposts.
No, it's not changing it. That's the reality how the business works. That's why only
was Billy Joe Saunders Canelo for Undisputed? It was in the stadium.
Yeah.
Was it for Undisputed? Yes or no?
No, it wasn't.
What that stadium have sold out even without the WBC belt?
It sold out for $9 million, so you compare that.
No,
but the marketing value was not for $47 million. Was it the same?
Actually believe
that how much did they make for that
Allegiant Stadium? No, Allegiant Stadium would not have sold out or would not have done that game without the WBC. Is what you're saying? That's what you're
arguing? For Undisputed, probably not.
I disagree.
No, that's okay.
That's a fundamental disagreement.
That's okay. But then why did 73,000 in the Saunders fight only did $9 million gate?
Because Saunders is not as big of a name as Crawford, whether you like it or not. That's the truth.
And is Crawford the same marketing value as Canelo?
Because the Saunders Canelo fight did not have Backy.
Let me ask you: Did Canelo already made 2 to 3 times as much more money than any purse that Crawford?
You're not going to get an argument from me from Canelo's marketing power.
Okay, so who really sold out that stadium?
Canelo.
Thank you. So Crawford,
not Mauricio Canelo.
Well, no, but he needs the belt to make a marketing for that fight.
Canelo did not Mauricio.
But Crawford needs that belt so it could be a marketing.
No, he just needs Canelo.
No, he needed. They needed it. If they didn't, Turkey wouldn't have had Canelo fight for it and
take it. Canelo, bro. That's it. He just needed Canelo. That's it. He didn't need the WBC.
Then why did Turkey? You just paid him to fight Skull for nothing?
If all they needed was the WBC, why did they get the IBF?
I didn't say just the WBC. I said all 4 belts, but one of them is.
Okay. Do you need all 4 belts? So therefore, the other 3, include the IBF.
Then why didn't they? If you didn't want to fight for the WBC belt, why?
Like, what do you mean?
Hey,
I see what you're doing.
Look what Josh Taylor did. Josh Taylor was a man. He said, "I didn't want to pay sanctioning fees for all these other belts before I fight Theo." So what did he do? He vacated them. He didn't go to the ring.
Why didn't Josh Taylor and Ramirez, sell out a stadium and all they need is a WBC?
Sold out a stadium and what profit?
Right. If all they need is the WBC has this much power and influence, and that their title being
you're just so much. What you accuse me of is what you really are. You just hate Mauricio to the core, and no matter what, he does no good.
Fact. The difference between me and you. So you're I can tell you, I dislike Mauricio, and I've disliked him for years.
You got Mauricio deranged syndrome.
I can tell you, I dislike.
You got Mauricio
and I can explain
syndrome.
Why, right? I can explain the Bridger Walker.
Hey, does he do any good?
Wade. I could explain,
does he do any good?
A title shot. Hey. Like, you like this guy?
Hey, does the WBC do any good?
Of course they do good. What do you mean?
They do good.
Yeah, they pay for Israel Vasquez's treatments when he had cancer. I never claimed they don't do good things.
Okay, man. So you got to take it.
I bet you didn't even know about that, right?
Of course I did. That's what I'm asking you.
Okay, so what I'm telling, but that doesn't mean that they use all the funds properly. It doesn't mean that.
But who are you to say what is properly?
What do you mean?
Your properly or the tax code properly?
The tax code,
they're on the tax code because they're not the IRS knocking on their door. D-style.
They need to allocate those funds properly.
D-style. If they were not in compliance,
if all that money, if all the surplus money is going to guys like Israel Vasquez, then I'm all for it. But it's not.
If they were not in compliance with the tax code, they'd be shut down by the IRS. It's as simple as that. Now that they're not in compliance with D-style,
that's not true. Because they're based out of Mexico and have a slush fund, so they could work ways around it.
That's your opinion.
They haven't been audited. Let's audit them then. Let's audit.
Then whatever. Go call the IRS, bro.
Let's do it. I'm
Go
all for it.
ahead.
Are you against an audit?
I'm not. I don't care.
Okay, then let's do it. You know
Then
what I mean?
who's let's do it? You gonna do it? Go ahead, knock on
Let's
Maurice's
go.
door and do it.
Let's do an audit, baby.
I'm just
That's
saying.
all I want.
Look, all I'm saying is he is abiding by the tax code. He is not abiding by D-Styles code, which don't mean shit. Just to him.
If anything, shouldn't the IBF give more money if they're the reasons we were able to get it undisputed? Because they allowed Canelo to fight Skull?
They got paid the 3% for the Canelo fight to get that belt, right?
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, bro. Like I'm just saying.
Hey, they're the most unknown belt, and they got all that money. You think they're bitching, bro? Hey, man, we hardly got no fighters. Yeah, we take it.
Yeah, the WBA is the oldest and more prestigious one.
No, it's not prestigious. That's the most corrupted one. You know that. Why doesn't Boxer even represent them anymore? Fucking piece of shit. And I'm so biased that they're from Puerto Rico.
What makes them prestigious is not the organization; it's the champions, the history of the belt.
Well, you know what? The WBC's got more recognizable, great champions on their side than anybody else. Unfortunately, that's just
they have a lot of the same champions, brother.
Yeah, but none like the greats, bro.
What do you mean? Tyson had it. Well, Tyson had all the other ones too. Like what do you mean? Like what? Larry Holmes had it. Larry Holmes had the IBF too. Like they all had all of them, bro. Like,
and the most recognizable amongst all the casuals.
Oh, wait, remember when Lennox Lewis had the WBC? They were kind of they didn't give
that was really
leverage for a while. Like there was like these other heavyweights were still kind of avoiding him and stuff. Remember that?
No, that was Riddick Bowe, wasn't it?
No, he's the one that threw it in the trash. That was the best moment ever, by the way.
Well, that's cool, man. I mean, regardless of the fact, still, when you take a service, you owe a fee, you pay it. Simple as that. You don't agree with that, then you're okay with stealing. Why do we?
No, he doesn't need to pay, and they stripped him, right? So like it is what it is. Like that is the
no. They ended.
But what I'm telling you is
they ended the conflict by removing
Mauricio pulled the pastor move.
No, he didn't. That lady could still go to the church with just a penny in her pocket.
And your argument is that he has a right to do it, but it's immoral.
No, it was the only thing that was kind
of brother, I'm running.
No,
I'm 10 minutes over my time. I gotta get.
All right, man. I'll let you go this time, man. But I love you, brother. I just wanted to know that, man.
But I just send me a text on how I could run a non-profit so I can make profits. Like I would love to know about that.
I'm telling you, yes. Many of you people who want to get out of the
and then I get to give myself a salary with it and nobody needs to know about it.
Well, hey,
I don't got to tell anybody and nobody gets, not even the government.
That's the beauty of using the tax code. If you know,
right, non-profit. Like all these corporations are stupid. It's just to run a non-profit.
No, they are smart. That's why they're not paying the amount of taxes as they do.
Oh man, why even pay anything? Just do a non-profit.
No,
but anyway, I gotta get rolling.
All right, guys. Hey, peace out, D-Style.
Latest.